Alina, would you, do you want to see if you can share your screen? Otherwise, I've got it ready to go. While we're waiting, Alina is one of the superb trainers on our Women in Conservation Tech program. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh, there you are. How lovely to see your face. Alina's one of the trainers on our Women in Conservation Tech program in Tanzania this year and an expert Earth Ranger user trainer person, and has also recently, or I don't know how recently have you launched ConTech Africa?
January, end of January.
Okay, so this year launched her own company. So I've invited her along to hear more about the work that she's doing and learn more about it. Alina, can you share your screen, or do you want me to share mine?
No, I still can't. You're gonna have to help me here, Stephanie. Thank you.
Here, I'm ready. I think. Am I ready? Yes. Okay.
Okay.
The right thing. We're good.
Okay. So yeah. Well, I can see. I hope everyone else can see it.
Yeah.
So hi guys, I'm Alina, and I think the talk that Marcus just gave gives a very good opening for what I'm sort of involved in, and I really like what he said about if you're not super involved with a project, it's very hard to know what is happening. So identifying a problem. And so jumping into what I do, well, so at the end, the last 7 years I've been involved in conservation. I'm a tech person, and I have no conservation background whatsoever until 7 years ago. And during these years of working with conservation tech, I noticed a bit of an issue whereby most of these, there was a separation. There was a gap between tech tools that were available for conservation and the actual conservation needs. There was a mismatch there. Anyways, fast forward to this year, I took a leap and left my day job, and I founded ConTech Africa, basically working on bridging this gap between tech tools and conservation challenges. So who are we? So we is me. It's only me for now. And I'm basically working with different conservation institutions to help them with their conservation tech tools. And I know if you read through this short page here, it's you can see a lot of Earth Ranger. So that's what I started with, and that's what I'm doing mainly. But it's from Earth Ranger to varied set of tech tools. And from the very beginning, I only had 3 objectives. So that is ease of access to tech tools, and to increase on-ground technical capacity and skills, but also just best practices and good fit. One thing that I've seen over the years is for most time, conservation has always been in a bubble. And when we always seem to sort of copy paste different things from one area to another without considering like so many other factors that could make that tool not work as good as it would work elsewhere. And so so when I found this, those were like my 3 objectives that I really wanted to address. And so far, all the projects that I'm involved with are all to do with capacity building, and also just, proper use of these tools, because it's all well and good to have a tool there, but if it's just dormant, then it's really counterproductive. So you can see I've got projects in Tanzania, Uganda, and recently Zambia. And also, like, I'm involved with, like Stephanie mentioned, I was part of the trainers at the Women in Conservation Tech. This all fits into that, like we need more women to know that there are opportunities in the conservation tech space. And I'm also, this is the second time I'm involved with the Conservation Tech Award by Earth Ranger. And to me, that is also fits into the objective of what is out there and what are people doing. Can it be replicated to actually address some of these conservation challenges elsewhere? And I think last was the tech gathering that we had, we hosted last year, where we brought in technical people and conservationists into one room to discuss and brainstorm, to understand what the needs are, what are the actual needs, and how can technology actually be used in an appropriate way to address these challenges. Because as we all know, and from this talk, you see there's a lot of tech tools. Again, if you don't know what works best for you, if you don't have the skills, I just ask the problem. And then and so, well, in a nutshell is so what I do is to just try to help and work with these different organizations to bridge that gap between what tech tools are available, what do they have, and how can they best use them to address the challenges that they're facing. Yeah, I probably have taken like 5 minutes, but yeah, so that's very briefly on what I'm doing, and I'm open to take any questions.
Can I ask some questions since I've got you here? So you were a long time planning this launch, right? It sounded so when we were chatting, you told me that this was part of you have more than one master's, right? This was your MBA project, right?
Yes. So during my time, my time working with conservation tech tools, I thought that I would get but then, going all the way out and literally just making it your full-time job, I think requires a bit more knowledge into what you're going into. So when I was doing my second master's in conservation leadership with African Leadership University, I decided to do we call them capstone projects. I decided to do a capstone to understand the gap. And this way I was able to access the expertise from the university on how to understand the market, how I could frame my value propositions, and how to approach this, and how to address the challenges that I want to address and what I've observed so far. And I did a whole research, and fortunately the results from my research actually aligned with what I had seen over the years. And so the end of January this year, that's when I decided to make ConTech my full-time job.
Yeah, and so you're responding to both needs you've heard anecdotally, but actually needs that were coming through in your research, and you're stepping into that gap, right? And so who are your ideal partners? Who do you want to, in your dream scenario, who would watch this and then come and talk to you about working together? What's your dream sort of client and partnership?
I feel like I'm in a very good position here, almost because I have a technical background, but I'm also the person that has been on the ground. Yeah. So I intimately understand, and I'm not saying I intimately understand what's going on in Uganda or Zambia where I'm involved, but being in conservation for the last 7 years, most of these challenges are very similar. It's how to now use those tools and maneuver them to address these challenges. And so I feel like I'm very in a position to work with tech tools developers and conservation organizations. For instance, an hour before this call, I was on a call with a company called KNS. I think just know them. They are they have what is this, a satellite. It's a connectivity solution. So they've got these low orbit satellites, and they have trackers and trackers that you could use on animals, etc. So there are questions that, having a tech background, I'm able to converse and ask them. Okay, and being involved in these projects puts me in a position to at least know maybe we could use this tool to address this particular challenge. So
so you're offering that translation service and that expert like filtering. But the other thing you haven't mentioned is like you're also a fantastic trainer, and like because I've watched you in our program, and you've trained in other things we've done, but also the way you explain things and how you work with people to bring them along and build capacity is fantastic as well, and goes so nicely hand in hand with that expert knowledge.
Thank you.
That's just what I've witnessed. And so where are you hoping to be in a couple of years from now? What's your dream?
Well, I do want to keep doing this, and I think I'll be happy when I'm in a position to take interns to begin with. Like at the moment, it's only like 6 months old, so I can't really say like I'm ready to start having a big team. But as like projects increase and like more people are aware that there are opportunities in the conservation tech space, I'll take like interns, grow my team, and I mean, and be involved in more African countries, really, because one other thing that I would like to mention is that most of these tech tools come from outside Africa, and if you don't have a person on the ground who has the skills to maintain and support these tools, it's going to be a tough road. So yes, I do want to expand what I do within Africa and then start growing my team from there.
Amazing. And my final question is like, where do you think the field's going in the future? Like, where do you think what's the things that's exciting you most coming up on the horizon, or that you see changing?
Honestly speaking, after being part of the Conservation Tech Award judges, so I was exposed to what is happening, what are people doing with conservation tech, and like the movement ecology that we did, I think, last year. The future is exciting, and I feel like we are moving toward the right direction. And I'm really looking forward to being part of it and making the most out of it, not just for myself, but also for conservation.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Alina.
Pleasure.
Because I'm sharing screen, I can't see if anyone's asking questions in the chat, so like maybe have a look. But I think I know we're a little bit over, so I'm going to wrap us up. Thank you very much, all of our speakers today, and for everyone who's joined us. And this will be up on our YouTube channel and on Wild Labs probably early next week. But for everyone who's still here, we'll stop the recording in a second, but you're welcome to hang out and just have a more casual chat with us and connect with other people in our space. Say hello. But for everyone on the recording and who's leaving us now, lovely to see you, and we'll see you next month, last Wednesday of the month. And feel free to send in your suggestions for speakers. We're always curious to hear about different projects and different people. So thanks, everyone. We'll see you later.